Hi everyone, my name is Kendrick and welcome to ENFP Mail. Today I get to interview Peter, so Peter, welcome.
Thank you so much. This is a great pleasure. I can't believe I'm on the Kendrick interview show. This is incredible. I mean, this is a legendary platform and I'm very happy to be here today.
Thanks for the shout out, man. And today I'm actually interviewing a real ENFP male, so it makes perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
It's two ENFP guys just hanging out, you know?
Right, but we're polar opposites though, so it's going to be interesting in that sense.
So you're Chips, let me get this right. You're NETE, what is it then? Blast, play.
Play blast.
Okay, play blast, and then consume sleep?
Yes. That's
I
right.
see. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. No, I'm the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah, I got tons of questions for you because your saviors are my demons. So
right.
It's vice versa, right? Your demons are my saviors. So it's gonna be quite interesting. So definitely a lot to learn from you. So when did you get your official typing results back, by the way?
I'm one of the OG guys of the system. I remember I found the link to be typed by Dave on his YouTube channel. He had a thing on his about page where he would ask people, like, it just said simply one line to someone, like, if you want to get typed, email Dave Power's email address. So I just sent him an email and then he set it up and I was typed by Dave and Shan in the very infancy of the project. Yeah. So a long time ago.
Wow. Nice.
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
What did you think and how did you feel when you got your official typing results back?
I was stoked. I was excited. I remember I was in the community for years before I met Dave and Shannon. I'd made content for typology and stuff for years before learning about objective personality. And Dave was definitely like one of my first inspirations on YouTube because he used to do those videos way back in the day where he would just explain the functions and stuff. I don't know if they're still online, but I still remember thinking they were really good because he would break it down really simply in like a TE way, you know? It's like he really had it down, I think, in those early videos. So when I had the chance to talk with him, I remember being very stoked and very happy. And I was just very happy that someone was talking about science in typology, because I think the problem with trait psychology is that it's so incredibly subjective. And because it's so subjective, and I think to an extent it still is, right? A lot of people are just going to laugh it off. They're just going to say it's a horoscope system, essentially, right? So I remember immediately being drawn to the getting rid of the subjective and turning this into, or trying at least, the ambition to try to turn it into something more objective was really appealing to me early on, and still is, I think.
Yeah, those videos that he made a long time ago are all gone now, sadly. Because
that's a shame.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I watched those early videos when I was, much younger, and yeah, they're gone. And I can't tell you how annoying it is. Like, I'll read the description after my interview, and someone will say, "This person is not this type. This person's an ESFJ or whatever." And I'm like, yeah, okay, you can go back to your horoscope. It's cool, just go back.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if he's doing it to frustrate observers on purpose, missing information and all that.
Oh, you mean Dave, for getting rid of the old
people? That he took them down maybe for that reason. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, or maybe the info dominant ones.
Yeah, exactly.
So my first question to you, this is my burning question for you, because I'm trying to understand this better. You have sleep second. What has been your experience having sleep as a savior?
Well, I mean, it's, how Dave talks about how just because it's your savior, it doesn't mean you like doing it. You just feel like you have to, right? That you feel like that's how you contribute, right? Is to use your saviors. And I have to say, like, having sleep as a savior for me, having to feel responsible for reflecting on how I feel at all times and what my opinions are on different things has been extremely painful for me personally, because I have to constantly twist and turn every piece of input that I get in accordance to how I feel about it, right? So I have to and then also in that sense, or an extension of that, I also then have to consider like my own moral actions of the past, right? And am I a bad person for having done this thing in the past? Or, oh, that was so embarrassing, I used to be like this. That's kind of how I see sleep in myself, is that it's constantly like, in order for me to feel like I can contribute, I need to take in obviously what's new, but also process how it relates to myself and what that means for me as a person, that I used to believe something else or do something different.
So
Does that make sense?
yeah, no, the whatever you describe, I have personally done myself. I don't do it on a savior state though. Mine's a demon, so I have to kind of force myself to do it. But David Shan did say that even though I'm sleep last, I can sleep process. Now, recently, I've been trying to uncover, everyone, we're all kind of curious about our demons, right? Because that's the area that we need to improve on. So for me, what I was trying to figure out recently is the deeper layers of sleep. Like what are the other aspects of sleep that I might not be doing? So what I realized recently is because I'm play savior, right? That I'm always overreaching to the tribe. And as a result, I sometimes get needy feelings, or I feel like I get burned by the tribe. But the truth is, the reason why those feelings happen or I get burned by the tribe is because I'm not setting boundaries. So do you feel like with sleep as a savior, it's very easy for you to set boundaries with tribe members so that you don't overreach? And when you know that the tribe is causing you negative feelings or toxic emotions, or maybe you just don't want to spend time with the tribe or do things for the tribe, that you can, close that door and say, you know what, I'm doing my own thing, and you know what, screw the tribe. What's your take
To
on
an
that?
extent, yeah, I think yes, I think it is easy for me to know where my limits are as a person and in relation to the tribe, and also where I stand with the tribe, and to be aware of what not to do with the tribe, which might, be an overreach or something. But then on the flip side, because there's always a flip side to these things, right, is I have a lot of trouble getting started and feeling like I have enough information and enough value as a person to contribute to a conversation myself. So as an example, like I've studied a lot of philosophy these last 2 years, where I haven't really been in a lot of typology or trait psychology forums or anything. And it's taken me at least, and I still don't really feel comfortable talking about philosophy, but I've read dozens of books about philosophy, beginning to end. And I still don't feel like I know enough about psychology, because I feel like there's the chance that there's this book I haven't read that totally negates what I've learned and what I think so far. So it takes me a long time. I have to consume a lot of information before I can do anything with it. So there's always that flip side, right? You always have to, in my subjective view, I would much rather be in your place, right, of overstepping, because by then, like, that's something you learn from. Whereas in my head, I envision and imagine all these things where I overstep, but I don't know if they're true, or if there's something that I'm conjuring as a projection of my own insecurities.
I think from an information standpoint, my type might be better in a sense that, I'm banging it, I'm throwing it against reality. So I know if that information is accurate or not, or if it's legitimate, or if it's, if it's not full of shit, pretty much. But the downside, obviously, is the negative emotions that you get when you're deep diving into other people's bullshit, essentially, right? So
yeah, that must be a terrible tidal wave to experience in your life, to suddenly have just everything come over you, where it's like, oh, I've done too much, or I've overstepped my bounds. I can relate. Yeah.
it's getting better as I get older, but obviously now I'm kind of more cautious before I use play, because now play has been the biggest cause of a lot of pain in my life. Is using play too much, right? It's my first savior, just like consuming your first one. Now, I wanted to ask you about your sleep. Your sleep is the same as mine. It's double masculine sleep. My double masculine sleep is in a demon state. Yours is in a savior state. So what does double masculine sleep on a savior state feels like, or what does it look like for you?
Well, I guess just, it's hard to say, right? Because like it's just what you do. It's just who you are. So you have to like relate it to how other people are reporting to you, how they feel about it. But I think a lot of it is just what I said. It's taking in information and weighing it against who you are, because like I'm a Fi, so a lot of it has to do with self-reflection, self-evaluation too, in that sense. So I guess it's a lot of moral and ethical questions of your own behavior and the behavior of others based on the information that you've taken in, I guess. Yeah. I don't think I can get any closer than that.
Your double masculine sleep is also SF. So have you brought it out in public before to like to other people? You know, has that swing ever happened where that double masculine sleep came out? And keep in mind it's SF, right? So usually, from my experience, whenever I have like an SF double masculine sleep rage and I do it publicly, people think it's hilarious. So, you know, and you know, SF's all about like what's cool, right? So I kind of figured out recently that yeah, the more I use this like double masculine, like aggressive SF sleep, the more entertaining I actually come across. So what's your experience been like with that like double masculine SF sleep?
Like, just, I guess, just being skeptical of all the cool things and all the and all the normality rules, whatever, of the normal world and the world surrounding me. Just a giant amount of skepticism about what everyone takes for granted, or street signs that make no sense or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
No, I mean, have you like emoted those deep emotions outwardly before? Like, let's say you're interacting with a friend and you're like, I'll give you a concrete example. I was just I did an interview. I did an interview yesterday, and I work in the fitness industry, right? So I'm doing personal training with my clients, and then you get, you know, a whole wide variety of clients. You get clients that learn the form of the exercise right away, and then you have clients that you're like, what the hell is this? Like, this is not what I taught you, right? So, you know, for example, like the planks, right? Yeah, you know, the exercise, the plank. You know, some people would, instead of doing like a straight plank, they would have their ass up in the air and they look like an upside down V, right? And I'm like, you know, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the hell is that shit? That's not what I taught you. You know, are you fucking kidding me? You know, so it's like, you know, that's like the double masculine SF sleep, right? It's like, you know, it's like that pent up anger and frustration that suddenly comes out and you're like, you know, so I'm just wondering, have you ever emoted that like to someone in your tribe member? Obviously, it's going to be a close person, someone close in your life, because if it's sleep, then it's going to be within your known information, right? So what, have you ever done anything like that?
Sure. Yeah. It annoys me when people chew very loudly. I get weirdly aggressive about that. I get weirdly aggressive about people that breathe loudly. I don't know. It really bugs me. Like if someone's like, and it's like, what's wrong? Do you need to go to the hospital, dude? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. But mostly I keep it inside. You know, I don't want to, because again, I feel like I'm gonna cause a lot of tribe drama if I do that or whatever, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was that was hilarious. Yeah, definitely. What's inside your double masculine sleep is hilarious. It's like very like. I think if we want to be cool, we have to let that out. Like the fact, like you said, like that was like the funniest shit. So, okay. No, I just wanted to triangulate with that with you because I wanted to see what it looked like if when another ENFP did it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it is fucking hilarious. Okay, okay. Let's talk about your blast last. So this is gonna be your life problem, right? This blast last. So you said that you've taken the time to read philosophy books from front to cover, or you know, from front to back. You've gotten all this information down, and you still don't feel like you have enough. But at the same time, you have a YouTube channel, so you are trying. It's not like you're not, you know, trying to work on that blast. So talk about your journey has been trying to work on that blast last.
That's a great question, man. I have a YouTube channel. I used to put up content on it, but I found it entirely unrewarding to do it that way. I think my biggest challenge right now in terms of Blast is finding a meaningful way to get my information out to people, because I used to tell myself that, oh, I never do anything on Blast Last. I can never start anything. But the truth is, like, I've been all over the world. I've lived in America. I've lived in Ireland. I've lived in so many places. I've worked in many different industries. I've studied a lot of different things. It's just like, how do I make what I've learned and taken in something that can contribute to other people, and also something that can contribute to me, make money, get like a stable existence. I'm in university now, so I feel like I'm on the right track. I'll be done in a year, and then I can hopefully go out and find a job and within the field that I want to, because I really love the things that the things that I'm studying, and I feel like I can use a lot of the information that I've gathered throughout my 20s in the field that I really like. But yeah, that's definitely been something that like the Blast Last challenge has been something that I've struggled with a lot when I was a kid too. I was just talking to my friend Prem, who you also interviewed for your channel, about how like if you like if you have blast trouble in school, for instance, or something as a kid, you can get counseling for it. You can get help. You can get extra tools to do it. But if you're consume or sleep less, you're mostly put in like a camp of, oh, that's your problem. You have to deal with that. You're just lazy, you know? So I feel like I have a lot of things that I can use to my advantage readily available to me as tools to become better at blasting. And there's a lot of like people out there who will lend a hand in that regard and say like, this is how you can do it. This is a system you can use to do it. So I'm currently spending a lot of time seeking out that information, seeking out how I can improve it. But I know for sure it's not going to be on YouTube. I'm not going to be putting all of this on YouTube, but I highly respect YouTube as a format and the people who work with YouTube, obviously. And I have too in the past, so I completely get it.
What are you studying in university right now, and what job did you do when you were in the US, Ireland, and all those other countries?
Oh man, I was in film school in America first off, and I worked for Universal, the movie company,
Oh
as
wow.
just like someone who worked there. Yeah, that was fun. And in Ireland, I worked for Apple for their administrative team, I guess you could call it, like as someone who dealt with the vendors and stuff. Yeah, so that was cool. I'm studying a type of philosophy that has to do with how people learn. So how children learn, the cognitive processes that go on in the brain, how adults learn, how we can improve education, how we can learn as we are, you know, grown-ups, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot of neuroscience, and I think it's super interesting. And yeah, I really can't help to use it. I'm thinking I want to work as a consultant of some kind, maybe for schools or for educational programs in the future. Yeah.
And you live in Denmark right now, right?
Correct. Yep.
Where in
Yep.
Denmark are you?
Northern part. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I've been to Denmark before. I went to this small town called Svendborg or something. Svendborg.
Svendborg. Yeah. On Fyn. Yeah. The little island. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I was because I have a friend who lives there. So I slept
Oh, cool.
yeah, I slept on a trailer in their backyard when I was.
Ah, that's so Danish. That's so we really are the trailer trash of Scandinavia. Yep. That's us.
Um, do you think that that career path that you want to go towards, is there a lot of demand for employees in that area or as a consultant for that area, or do you think it's going to be a challenge for you to get a job in that field?
I don't think it's going to be a challenge at all. And I don't want to make it out like I'm, you know, really good at whatever, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because educational facilities all over the world are looking for ways to make education more inclusive and more learning friendly. And if you've seen the development of the methods and approaches that schools and teaching facilities and coaching programs have used, they've developed a lot over the last 20 years as a result of the research that people who studied what I'm studying have come out with. Essentially, like something called like cooperative learning, for instance, is extremely big right now. Is you work in pairs or in groups together instead of individually, so you can like externalize the things that you've been told and learned, because that's been proven to, if you if you say what you've learned in a different way, it's been proven that that alone makes it much more likely that you will keep that information in your brain and your primary memory. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is being within the field that I would like to work in. There's a lot of stuff that's changing education as a whole because of it. Yeah.
You have Play Demon. What's Play Demon like for you? Because that's very interesting. Um, yeah, talk about that first, and then I'll ask follow-up questions.
Yep. No, I love play. I love playing totally. But obviously, like I don't have unlimited supply of it. Like sometimes I'll go out and just be crazy play for a weekend, and then be extremely low energy for a few weeks, and I'll just crash completely and just want to be alone and to process all the stuff that I've done. And but yeah, I love play energy. I think it's amazing, and it's a way for me to, you know, take a break from myself, take a break from my brain, and to just go out and enjoy being with people. And a lot of that is talking to my friends like Nissa or Amelie, or a lot of the people that I've come across like Joey, etc. on the OP forum. Yeah.
Would you say that you're spending a lot more time doing sleep though than play? Like if you were to log in the number of hours in a week that you spend time by yourself, just doing your own thing versus like, interacting with a tribe member?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yep. Yep. If you were to do it in hours, it would be something like 9 to 1. Yeah, in terms of how much I sleep.
Okay.
It's yeah, no, it's tough for me to be around other people all the time. I don't really like it, and I've had a lot of trouble with that when it comes to like relationships or whatever, because I like being alone. I like my alone time, but I'm working on it, and I'm working on being better at it. And I could definitely feel as I'm getting older, I'm also relaxing more in my own body. I don't feel like I have to hide away all my little quirks that I do in my own life to appear perfect or perfectly composed all the time. So yeah, there's I mean, that's what they say about getting older, right? You learn more things, you experience more things, and as a result, you adjust and hopefully become more of a balanced person. Yeah.
Okay, so my follow-up question, I have two. First one is, can you give an example how it affected your relationships, having that play demon? And let's start with that first.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like I can be like, if I'm living with someone, for instance, right? I've had this happen a few times. I can get it builds over time, right? Because a lot of how I'm with people socially is play energy. So it's a lot of high energy stuff, but like there's like this in the back of my mind, there's a voice that's just saying like, you need to be alone right now. But if you're like crammed in a little space with someone else, it's really hard to be anywhere but the bathroom and be by yourself, you know? So it's like I have this, or yeah, I still do. I still have this voice that goes like, you need to be alone for a few days, you know? And that's really hard to accommodate when you're with other people, right? So yeah, I'm a very autonomous person in a lot of ways, and I mean, I feel bad for anyone that's had the misfortune of dating me. Honestly, like I'm sorry everyone, because like I have a girlfriend now and she's wonderful, she understands it, but like I feel really bad for anyone, including my current girlfriend, for having to deal with my bullshit autonomy issues. Sorry for swearing. I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, you can swear as much as you want.
All
This
right, thanks.
we're EPs, man. Doesn't matter. But like, we're the cool
Totally.
people. We're the cool people. Um,
Yeah.
you I relate to that a lot because I do need a lot of alone time myself, even though it's sleep last. I feel like there is that voice that's telling me, hey, you need to be alone. You need to spend time alone. Whether it just be like sitting on the couch playing video games or something, I just need to be by myself, And
Right.
if I don't get that, I don't feel right. Like something's off. Like
Mm-hmm.
like it's almost like I just want to get myself back. I don't know if that makes sense. You know?
Totally, yes. Especially, yeah, because when I guess like when you are an EP, you just take in so much information all the time, and
Yeah.
it's so hard to organize it naturally because it's like something you consciously have to choose to do. So
Yeah.
you need to kind of like filter out the voices and just like be able to put it into a box, especially I think with FI, because you have to like sometimes like if I'm in a heated situation with someone or I get into an argument, I feel like I haven't really gotten over it until I have some time alone to process where I'm like, was I in the wrong? Was this person in the wrong? Like, how do I feel about what just happened? And if I'm not alone, if I don't have that time, I end up kind of feeling like I'm losing track of myself. And I feel like I'm not myself, and I feel crammed in that way. Yeah.
So I don't know if your experience is the same as mine, but I'm very sensitive to people's emotions. So if I'm around people, I can absorb all their
Right.
emotions, like in a room, for example. And I've spoken to other ENFPs, and they've said this. That they've said, yeah, if you go to a room, you can pretty much absorb people's emotions. You know when something's off with someone's not being authentic, or someone is hiding something, or maybe someone's sad, or someone's going through something. Like you can absorb all this like emotion into you, which might be your NE and FI, right? Like you use your NE to gather, and then the FI kind of filters that person's FI essentially. Um,
Mm.
but for me, sometimes when I'm talking to someone and they're telling me bullshit, and I feel like they're trying to, like what they're saying is not really their intention. Because I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
have this, but I have like this intention filter that I know what their real intention is, but they're saying it in a completely opposite manner that would maybe try to force it or try to trick you or throw you off. But actually, the real intention is this. So I'll give you a concrete example. I have friends who are very pretentious and status-seeking people, right? So they'll say things like, "Oh, I want to help people, blah blah blah," but then from their track record and based on what they're saying and their behavior, that really they're the kind of person that they don't want you to get close to their level. So if you're way below them, they'll be more than happy to help you. But if they see that you're succeeding, they want to push you down. So that's just been my experience. So when that happens to me, I feel like I get really slime or I get poisoned inside. So I need alone time to kind of like get that sliminess or that toxic emotion out of my body until like okay, everything's good again. I'm back to normal. Okay, now I can like engage the tribe again. So what's your experience? Does that happen to you, or is it something else that's happening?
Well, I think, yeah, I definitely like playing fairsies. If I'm in a conversation with a lot of people, I like paying attention to, if I'm in a conversation, that I'm not speaking too much, that I'm not taking over the conversation, and that everyone gets a chance to talk. And if I feel like someone isn't included, I will, try to get them involved with the conversation and stuff. But I think it also, like, it depends, it's like so many things. Like I cannot, like, if you are in a situation where you feel like someone is being, like you said, inauthentic or disingenuous, I can also just completely ignore that person and just go about my business and not really feel too bad if they feel excluded or whatever.
Okay, so I think that's the difference between our sleep then, because your sleep is so high, it's easier for you to have a shield around you.
Mm.
Your shield is in a savior state. Like my shield is not.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
for you, it's like it's already on, right? It's like, it's like Magneto, right? He has like that magnetic spear around him at all times.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have that, right? I have to plug myself. I have to plug the shield in first, and then when I plug it
Right.
in, it's not fully charged, so I have to charge it first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just interesting to see that for you, people with high sleep, it's just naturally there. Um,
Yeah.
I did notice though that people with high sleep, especially with ENFPs, that it's easier for you to be playful with people that is already within your bubble. So
Yeah.
if the person's a stranger, then it's hard for you to be you. Like just be like, whoa, just like act like crazy and like silly and. But like if they're in the bubble, then yeah, you can go nuts and it's fine. So have you experienced that personally?
See, yeah. I mean, it's obviously like if I'm with people that I'm comfortable with, I feel more comfortable showing the more silly sides of myself, I guess. Yeah, but I would say in general, like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a super silly guy in general. Like, I like making jokes and I like hanging out with my friends, but I don't know that I'm like all that different to the people that I'm really close to, and the people, maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting, but that's, I mean, I don't feel like, I feel like I'm pretty good at approaching people I don't know and being inclusive to them, and like, but who knows? We're only looking at ourselves through, behind these ears. We're only like we don't know how we come across, right? We only can rely on what other people are telling us.
Right. Let's jump into your consume first. So your consume first. You're very NF. Let's
Oh
go
yeah.
talk about that.
Now we're talking consume talk. Yeah. Let's do this.
You're ready.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do it. Now I'm comfortable. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's start with consume first. Well, yeah, consume. Your consume first. So, um, has that been more or less been good for you, or has been bad? And the type of stuff that you consume, are they mostly NF stuff that you prefer to consume?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I'm all over the place, honestly. Like, I just had a phase where I was really into planes. I
Like
don't
what?
know. I
Like
just researched a bunch of stuff about planes.
like the
It
models,
would be anything.
or what? Like what about?
No, like real planes. I read up on the history of Boeing and like what makes their airplanes go slightly faster and stuff. It's all over the place, man. I'm just I love planes.
Did you talk to Evelyn about it? Because Evelyn works for Boeing.
Oh, sweet. I didn't even know that. Yeah, totally. Hit me up.
Yeah, she literally works in like the Boeing in Everett in Seattle. So
That's amazing. I love Boeing. Boeing's the best. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What was your question? It's just
no worries, man.
consume first.
No worries.
Yeah.
I was asking if you prefer to consume NF stuff, but then you just said that you consume everything pretty much, so it's not limited
Yeah.
to NF stuff. But you're NF as a person though, because you're NF first, right? So I was having a conversation in the Facebook ENFP messenger with other ENFPs, and when I was talking to the other NT ENFPs, the NET TE ones, we talk about like we still feel NF inside, but our cutoff when like the NF talk gets too crazy is much sooner than someone that might be lead NF, right? So my question for you is like, does when you talk about NF stuff, can it go on forever?
Yeah.
Or do you know when you're going crazy now? You're like, you know, people start talking about energy and spirits and stuff. And do you think that there's like a line you're like, okay, you know what, that's not batshit crazy, you know, like that's going too far.
No, I can keep up with the conversation. I don't think that I'm like full on. Like it's not really. I'm not really interested in conspiracy theories or anything. But I think my thing is I think it's fascinating. I think the areas are fascinating. So I've read up a lot about it, and I can keep up with the conversation. And I don't condemn anyone who's like headed. And I love hearing the takes. You know, I love hearing what people think about it and what their reasoning is and like why they value what they value. Right. So like I love those conversations. And like if we want to talk about like consume, I think I know what you mean now. Like I will just consume. I will feel like in my brain I feel inadequate if I don't have a cultural reference or if I don't have a movie or a TV show or a song that I can relate what I'm going through to right now. Like so it's almost like an internal like competition with myself where it's like how much can I consume, and if you leave me alone like this quarantine I've just been consuming so much stuff, like so many TV shows, movies, like so many other people obviously, but like sometimes like 16 hours in a row, like hardly any breaks, because I'm just it's wonderful for me. Like it sucks because I get up and feel like I haven't done anything, I haven't prepared for my exams, I haven't done anything, but I still feel inside like it's like eating a McDonald's burger, you know, it's like it's like the quick like I'm doing what I really want to do, but then afterwards you're like I didn't do anything really except for have a cheeseburger, right?
So it's like a drug almost, like you're addicted to it and you
Yeah, totally.
can't stop
Totally.
and you know it's messing you up and
Yeah,
you don't feel productive, you know, but you can't stop. You just, you know, you're like a crack addict to get,
totally. This is, yeah, that's my crack. Like Tiger King was my crack for a few days. Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
yeah, you have multiple like drug sources.
Yeah.
The question I was asking earlier actually was because when I was talking to the NETE people, um, we were talking about like, yeah, we like the NF stuff, but like when it gets too crazy, like let's say someone starts talking about crystals and how the crystals have healing properties and how it's gonna, you know, you know, really open up your chakra, you know, then that's when our brain just shuts up. We're like, okay, you know what, you're just nuts now, you know, I don't want to listen to this anymore. Uh, so my question to you is, when you hear people who are overly logical and they're just giving you reasons after reasons after reasons, and do you feel like there's like a cutoff period where like, you know what, this is too much now? Like, you know, like let's there's
But it depends, right? Like it depends. If it's something that I feel like if we agree, right? If we agree on a thing, we both like a thing, and you give reasons for why you like it, I could listen to you forever because it's like it's in my FI. I like it, and I absorb your reasoning. So I'm like, oh, okay, great. I can say this later. I can use this as a reason, right? But if it's someone just throwing reason after reason for something, say I don't believe in, or I'm particularly interested in, or an opinion that disagrees with myself, after a while, I tend to just be like, ugh, I can't listen to this anymore because it's just, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like it's a little like uh, it's intrusive.
intrusive. Okay, that's interesting that you said word intrusive. Why is it intrusive?
Because it's like a personal thing. It's like I see the things I like, the things I value as an extension of myself. I've you know, that's a conclusion I've come to recently, right? It's like if I like something a lot, if I really identify with it, the things I really value and the things I really like, I feel like have informed who I am. And as an extension of that, if it's criticized, I feel like it's criticizing me as a person, right? So like if I'm mostly fine with it, honestly. Like if people that I'm not really super tight with start to criticize it, I don't mind. It's like you can believe what you want, but if it's like a really close friend or something who just keeps going on and on about how this thing that I really value sucks, it hurts my feelings. It really does, and I'm like, I don't want to have this conversation with you, and I try to like shut it down.
Got it. Okay, I
Yeah.
think I see what's happening here now because I think I've been that friend that like criticized the consume sleep ENFP and I heard
We
it.
all do it, man. We all do it accidentally or on purpose because
Yeah,
it's fun. I mean, we all do it, right? It's fine.
yeah. No, I'm just saying it's just like that. You know, like I've seen it happen in real time, and I was the perpetrator. of this, So um,
Yeah.
it's almost like I don't want to respect your boundaries, Like I think, like, but
Right.
yeah,
And it's so hard for me to do to see how I'm doing that to people who are TI, because like I end up doing it a lot with TI. I think I accidentally step on their toes with their reasons when I throw out some TE reasons, and I don't mean to, and I can't see how I'm doing it, but it always turns into an argument, and it makes me feel bad,
I can honestly say to you, I don't have friends with anyone that's masculine TI. I just can't get along with those people. It's just too. I find it irritating to actually engage with like masculine TI.
It's really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like really irritating for me. It's just like I find it so irritating, right? Like the moment like someone's talking to me in masculine TI ways, I'm like, okay, I don't want to hear this anymore. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
I get it. I totally get it, because it's it's like we're speaking two different, not just languages, but like brain waves.
it's like I just don't care. Like you're going on
Yeah,
this like masculine TI thing, and I'm like, I don't care. I just don't care. It's just annoying.
yeah,
But
totally.
let's talk about your feminine NE. So with feminine NE, I noticed that for me personally, I tend to forget concepts and patterns. Like I learned something really cool. I'm like, okay, I need to remember this. And then I like soon, like before you know it, I forgot, like what the concept was. And like I would read a lot of books and I'm like, okay, I just completely forgot what the concept was. And like, I knew it was something really important. Like I don't remember how I felt about it, but then it's gone. So do you experience that?
Totally. Yep. Something I struggle with a lot. Same situation. I a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I started using the system that Dave and Shannon have also talked about on their website, the Getting Things Done. I believe his name is David Mitchell. What's his name? David Allen?
Alan, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, it's Getting Things Done. I started using a lot of those methods myself, which like the mantra is the brain is for having thoughts, not holding on to them, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just to make sure to have something to type down whatever your thought is. I just use the notepad on my phone, and I will just type down anything that I find meaningful in the moment and just save it and then look it up later so I have it. But absolutely, man, I also struggle with, but I think like my biggest thing is that I'm so movable with intuition. I'm just like, I'll believe something, and then you'll say something I think like FI sounds better, and I'll be like, yeah, sure, totally, you're right. Yeah, sounds right, sure. And then my whole like 10 years leading up to that is just gone, because like
Yeah.
everything I thought made sense makes no sense anymore.
Well, I mean, it's good and bad. Like in the sense that like I do what you do. Like I use the SI to like record things that I think is important. Like, oh, this is important. I should like put it in my like I you know what, man? I'm doing the exact same shit as you. I take my phone, I put it in a notepad too. Like it's
Yeah,
the
it works.
exact same
It
method.
works.
The problem is I don't review it enough, which is also bad. Like I just have like this like archive of like information, and I'm like I review it like maybe once a year. I'm like, oh shit, this is some good shit. Like why did I forget about
Right?
it?
Yeah, totally. But then if you do it that way, at least it won't be gone forever. You can always look it up if you need it. And then, I mean, you can always build on top of that system if you feel like it. I'm not going to bother, I think. But,
Yeah.
you can always say, like, but it's good because you never know when it becomes relevant to your life. If you're suddenly in a new project or a new thing, you're like, I think I thought about that at one point, and you just scroll through and be like, oh yeah, I totally did. I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah. Now your SI is masculine, and even though it's sport, for people with masculine SI, it's still pretty decent. So do you have a pretty good memory though when it comes to facts and numbers?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think I have a pretty good memory with names and references, and yeah, I think so. But it fails. Like as I've gotten older, I can also feel the names and references slip away from my mind. So I can only wait. I can't wait to see what I'm like when I'm 60 and I can't remember any names or movies, and just be like, "What's this name? Damn it!" Just on the couch, just being like, he was in Alien 2, and everyone's like, "Shut up, Dad."
It's like Thanos, right? Like you flicked it, and then all like the names were like.
Yep, exactly. I feel it, but every day that goes by, a part of my brain disappears.
Yeah, you need.
And I'm only 30, so
you need some brain supplements now. Some nootropic.
I
Nootropic.
need some brain force.
Yeah. Let me see. So.
But I used to do a lot of sports. I feel like I was always very aware of sports. I work out a lot, and I'm very aware of the sensory, I feel like. And I freak out. I freak the fuck out if there's chaos, or, I feel like I'm out of control of a situation or whatever. I used to play basketball in high school, And I was always freaking out about if the patterns that we had arranged for people to stand in different places, that they didn't go to their spots, you know.
Oh
I would
yeah,
always kind of be like but I would be like in a demon state too, so I'd be like, what are you doing, you know, like
yeah,
angry.
that's
I
funny.
wouldn't be balanced about it.
So let's talk about kinesthetic then. Since you were talking about like you're good at sports, you like to work out, you used to play basketball. How tall are you, by the way? You're probably super tall because you're Danish.
193 in centimeters. I think I'm 6'4",
Oh my God,
six
yeah,
three
yeah,
maybe.
you're a giant, man. I'm like I'm 5'6", so I'm like I'm like a hobbit beside you. But anyways, like
It's the Viking genes, man. It's the Viking genes. They
yeah,
never went away.
yeah. But so talk about like, have you always been pretty good with sports, or do you pick it up pretty quickly, or like when it comes to working out, do you get like strong pretty quickly? Like what's been your experience with that?
If you like, if I'm gonna start something new, I'm gonna Google around and read up on the rules and what is expected of you and stuff before I go into it. So I feel like when I start, I already have most of the information ready, and I can just more or less jump in. And I feel like I'm pretty good at sports. I was decent enough. Like, I'm obviously not going to be a top athlete or anything, but I've always been interested in sports. I'm thinking of going to a boxing class after this quarantine stuff is over, because I want to, because just one of my friends really enjoys boxing, and it's very good exercise, and you know, so yeah, no, I'm not like a clumsy person or someone who really struggles with the sensory in that way, I think.
Gotcha. Do you learn through body movements as well, like or with your
Yeah,
hands?
I think so. Yeah, I like hands-on stuff. I like learning hands-on with something, or feeling like what I'm learning is useful in the physical world, you know. If I'm learning something that I don't see any practical use for in my life or in the world in general, I feel like it's a waste of time and I zone out, you know.
Which area of kinesthetic would you say that you've done pretty well, like outside of sports? So I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. So for me, the kinesthetic area where I felt like I've been quite good at is cooking. So I think I'm pretty good at cooking, and I'm also good at like making coffee. I used to work for Starbucks, so I can make the picture perfect, silky smooth cappuccino. Like it's like absolutely perfect, like how it would look like in a picture. So that's kind of like where my kinesthetic talent has been at. So where has been your kinesthetic talent been at?
Same thing. I love cooking. I love cooking. I obsess about making it my way and the right way. And like, if someone says I'll make lasagna, I'll be like, oh no, now I have to eat your lasagna when I make a better lasagna, which is a shitty thing to like feel, but it's how I feel. And I'm like, oh no, now I have to eat this lasagna because like I know I'm gonna like my lasagna better. But you know how it is.
You know where I like to show off about this is like, like I don't know if you've been to a potluck, but like, everyone brings their own food.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did a family potluck once, and I, funny enough, I made pasta that looks like lasagna
That's amazing.
with macaroni though, instead of with like the different kind of, instead of that like straight noodle, it's macaroni noodle. But I baked lasagna, right? And then my INFJ sister bought her own crazy like NF dish that she pulled out of her ass, and like and then like, so we're all eating the food, and you can tell which food that people like and people don't like, because my lasagna version was mostly gone, and no one touched
Sweet.
my sister's cooking. So it's like,
Epic. That's great.
okay, I guess that's where the kinesthetic, hands-on skill really comes to play. We're like, oh yeah, I'm
Right.
like, we're good at
That's
this.
so true. And you know what I really like about cooking? I love that story, by the way. I really love when I use my hands, or when I'm chopping onions or like preparing food. I like that I can just turn my brain off for a second,
Yeah,
maybe just listen to some music and just do my thing and just robotically make the dish the way I want it and just make sure it's perfect and how I want it to be. Yeah.
yeah. Now, since you were talking about music, you play the guitar, you said, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you said you sing. So talk about being an auditory person. Like, is auditory one of the best ways for you to learn? Like when you hear someone talking, or audiobooks, for example, like is that one of your best modes of learning, would you say?
I think I'm more like, I absorb more information if I write it down as I'm hearing it, if I
Okay.
take notes while hearing it. But I think it's connected because like if I'm at a lecture and like all I need is to hear their voice talking, and then I can write notes. I don't need to look at them. I don't need to like visualize or look at their PowerPoint thing, for instance. I could just listen to what they say and then make that work through my fingers on my computer, and I'll probably never read it. But I just know the fact that I'm writing it in my own words is making me remember it more. So I don't know if that's audio kinesthetic, but that's how I make it make sense in my brain anyway.
That's like the perfect audio kinesthetic example. Like, you got the feeling, you got the feeling of the pen or the pencil on the paper,
Yeah.
right? And then as like you're absorbing things by auditory mode. It's funny that you mentioned that, because for me, like, it's kind of like, you said that someone has a PowerPoint slide, like, right? But it's like, if I close my eyes, I feel like I can even like learn it better as I'm hearing what they're saying and I have my eyes closed. I feel like I can learn that better than if I were to look at the PowerPoint slide, like,
Yeah,
that's not
totally.
really.
And I think, yeah, and I think that relationship to audio is also why I feel like I'm so connected to music, and I'm so, connected to meaningful music too, because I feel like I really absorb music for like I can hear all the instruments in what I'm listening to. I've noticed a lot of people can't do that, but if I hear a song, I can visualize all of the instruments in the room as they're playing, right? It's like I can see it in front of me, and I can see, oh wow, they have two basses on this song, or oh wow, they have like the congos on this, and like stuff that's way down in the mix. And I could just like it's like a very big thing for me to listen to music. That sounds so pretentious, and I'm sorry, but it's true.
No, it's fine. It's not pretentious at all. Yeah, that's awesome, man. You have such an acute ear for instruments. I think maybe because you also learn music too, like you learn like instruments and whatnot.
That definitely helps. Yeah. I play the guitar, the piano, the ukuleles, the bass, a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Once you've learned one, it's a lot easier to learn more, I think. Yeah.
What's your level at each of those instruments? Would you say they're pretty like advanced or intermediate or beginner level? Like what's
I'm an advanced rhythm guitarist.
okay.
Beginner's lead guitarist, and just like an average piano player and pretty good ukulele player. And yeah, I spend a lot of time playing. I do. Yeah. But it's not always like, it's frustrating because when I'm learning something, it doesn't sound the way I want it to sound. So it takes longer for me to really accept it, I guess. Yeah.
Long time ago when I was looking at the Dave Superpowers video and I saw that SI last, right? I was thinking that, okay, you know what? I think us ENFPs, we cannot master all the different, the five senses essentially. There's like certain part of senses that we're better suited for, and every ENFP is different. And for me, I picked it up right away that for me, it was always been sound, number one. And I also have pretty good sense of smell also. So like,
yeah, me too.
it wasn't until like the Dave Superpowers kind of talked about like sexual modalities, like, okay, you're auditory. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. So it wasn't because, I have SI last, that's why I can only pick like one sensory sources. It's because, it's based on your sexual modalities, right? So that's kind of like my take on it. And I've always felt like you talk about music right now. I'm like, I feel like there's like a huge area of my life that's untapped and I'm good at it, but like, I don't know. I've never like I have never learned music, right? So I feel like I could be really good at it because I'm auditory, but I just never like experimented in it. Like I really want to learn violin, for example, and like I've just never, never what do you call it, explored it, right? So I feel like hearing you talk about like your experience with playing all this like instruments makes me feel like envious. Like I'm like I feel like I'm needing. It's almost like a feeling of FOMO, right? Like fear of missing out. Like
right.
I'm
Yeah.
like because we're both audio kinesthetics. So I feel like if you can learn all this instrument, I could probably pick it up pretty fast too, and I would probably enjoy it massively, So I'm like
Yeah.
like there's like this like thing in me like feeling like I'm missing out.
You know what I think you should do? I think you should make a series that's just called Kendrick Learns the Instruments of blah blah, and then you make a video about how good you are after week 1, and then week 2, and then week 3,
Yeah.
and then see how it goes. I think I would pay money to see that. I would pay money to see the progress of you learning an instrument. Yeah, totally. I'll do the intro and the outro if you want me to.
Sure.
No problem.
I did make a music video once. So I on my travel channel, I made a music video of my. I took a year off to go backpacking around the world, and I made a music video. And I was shocked how well it turned out. I was like, holy shit! Like, where did this come from? You know? And people are like,
Did you
wow.
play the music or?
No, I didn't play the music. I just put the music there, and then I put the right clips with like the video editing.
Oh,
I just
right.
edited. It was my first time video editing, actually, my first time ever, where I put together like this music video of compilation, all the video, and I put it in like a. It's almost like a movie kind of format, right? And people are like, "Wow, you're really good at video editing." I'm like, "Whoa, that's my first time doing it." Like, thanks for the compliment, you know. So I took it as
Yeah.
a compliment because it was my first time doing it. I'll send it to you.
Editing is really hard too, so that's a great compliment. Did you feel yourself like editing to the music? Like, did you put in something dramatic when there was a dramatic moment in the song or whatever?
No, it was a music that I've already kind of pre-selected like before I traveled for a year. Like it was already in the back of my mind. So when I was capturing those clips when I was traveling, I kind of pictured myself in those clips already, in with the music, right? So I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do for this clip. Like I had like a rough idea how I was gonna organize it, so that when I put it together, it came out like, yeah, it came out really well. It's like, holy shit, you know, like it's kind of like me now thinking now. It's like, okay, if you're auditory, you should be doing auditory stuff because this is like a big area that you're talented at, right? If you're visual, then you should be doing visual stuff. You know, like
Well, I guess just also like, as far as I understood it, audio is also just using your voice, right? Like just talking and making sense of the audio in yourself, right? The audio aspect of yourself, and you're doing that, right? You're interviewing people. You're
right.
you're making this available to the world and so on, right? So there is audio in what you're doing, I guess.
Well, I can't sing to save my life because the few time I tried singing, like my female friends has always been like, ugh, ew, you know, like so. But I do think like when it comes to public speaking that my voice does come across pretty well. So yeah, I guess that's where the audio comes in.
You know what I think you should do, Kendrick? You should make a video series called Kendrick Learns to Sing. And then after week 1, you're going to say, here's how good I am at singing. And after week 2,
this is like a bad idea. This is a I'll do that.
I heard someone who was like, everyone can learn how to sing. So maybe.
No, I even took my DNA test. My DNA test said I can't sing. I'm like, I already knew this.
That's a shitty thing to hear on your DNA test. You cannot sing.
It said that it's like cannot match musical pitch. I'm like, yeah, okay, I know that. Thanks. thanks. DNA.
So there's just a line that says, please don't sing along to Sweet Caroline in stadiums.
Yeah, like do us a favor. Don't hurt our ears, you know? Like don't break our ears.
Yeah. Warning.
I want to talk about your SI. So what problems have you had from having that SI last?
Oh, so many. My life is a mess. No, not anymore. It used to be like
a list of it, an SI list.
Right. Okay. So number 1, when I was 5 years, no, I'm kidding. No, it's just really like, I don't know. Like I've always been super aware of SI, and I've only recently gotten good at it. So I've always felt like, because I can be a very scatter-minded person, and my living room and my everything can become a mess really quickly if I'm not careful. And I hate it. That's the thing, is like, I've never liked it. I've never been able to not look at it and go, what am I doing? Like, I feel like there's a very strong voice in my head going, this should not be happening. So I always end up just like guilting myself into doing the SI, and I have for as long as I can remember. But it's so hard because it's like a very like I get very defensively and strongly angry when it comes to SI stuff in my life. And it's only been recently when I've come up with more SI systems to prevent it happening that I can sort of shut out that chaos inside of my brain. Yeah.
Do you have an example of the SI systems that you've kind of put into place?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I have Excel sheets for all the food I have in the house. I have Excel sheets for when I've taken out the garbage. I have Excel sheets for, what else do I have Excel sheets for? My budget. I have Excel sheets for how I spend my time. I just have a lot of Excel sheets just because I want to, I need it, or else I freak out and I can't sleep at night.
Damn, that's really impressive, man. Holy shit.
No, but it's not something I enjoy doing. It's something I have to do in order to not lose my mind. Yeah.
I'm speechless. That's amazing. That's,
It's really not that hard. I was freaking out about doing it before I did it, but once you have the lists, you're just putting in a few letters every once in a while. You're just changing a few numbers or whatever and what you have in the house. Because we mostly as humans tend to buy the same stuff over and over again anyway. So we just have to update the quantity.
I think I don't want to make an Excel sheet because I see those damn INTJs with their like obsession with the Excel sheet, and I'm like, fuck that. I don't want anything to do with that. That's like the lamest thing. I hate it. Like I work.
Right.
So my day job, I work in the fitness industry. I'm a personal trainer, right? But like, so I don't have to do much Excel sheet with that kind of stuff. I just take a notepad and write down people's program, right? But I have a travel business for my travel blog, and I have a membership site that I launched last year. And one of my members in that purchased membership to my membership portal is an INTJ, right? And he's always shoving his damn Excel sheet to my face. And he's like, here's my Excel sheet of my travel plan. Because he wanted to travel with me, right? So I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. But then when he showed me this Excel sheet, I'm like, I don't know if I want to travel with him anymore. Because it's like, day one, this is what we're going to do in day one. This, at this time, this. I'm like, I feel so restrictive. I don't want to travel like that. That's not fun. Like when you're traveling, you want to just be spontaneous, right? And do some exploration. But like when someone shoves an Excel sheet with you with like a clear agenda, you're like, like how would you feel if someone shove a Excel sheet in your face? You're going on a vacation. It's a 2-week vacation. It's like, you have an INTJ buddy. Here's your Excel sheet. 2 weeks, everything's already been mapped out. Every hour of that like freaking vacation. How would you feel?
But see, there's a difference. In defense of SI here, because I'm constantly aware of it, there's a difference between someone making an Excel sheets of things that you have to do versus you making an Excel sheet of things you would like to do, right? So it's like either you're being controlled or you are controlling the situation, right? I like making Excel sheets because it makes me feel like I don't have to think about it. Yeah, I feel like I can, because I have it and because I can just look it up, I don't have to stress out in a situation where I'm like, oh no, what do I do now? Because I've thought about it. I've structured it. I know what to do in different situations and like, if I don't do it, it's not the end of the world, right? I could just change it. But it's just, I think as you get older, you kind of recognize patterns in your life anyway. And you just know like, oh, this is what I usually do. And then if you don't for a day or for a week, it's totally fine. Like you're only responsible to yourself. You don't have to do it. But just for me, I need it so I can not think about it. And so I can be more play, basically. Like I feel like I have more room to play if I have the control element to it somewhere. If I have my own homemade framework, because it gives me more freedom. It gives me more time. It gives me less time where I'm freaking out about the sensory and more time where I can enjoy myself in my FI.
Okay, that sounds very sleep savior there, and I like it.
Right? Yeah.
And I'm gonna steal it. So I might not. I still hate Excel sheets, so I might do it in a different format. I'll use like a
totally. Hit me up. I have a million apps that I've used in the past for this stuff.
Yeah, I might. Oh, I like the kinesthetic thing, so I might get like a physical like calendar and just like organize.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, but I'm gonna steal it. I like that. That's awesome. I think that when you said that, it gave you more freedom when you controlled your schedule. I think that was like it's like almost like a light bulb in my head, because I've experienced that before when I was working for a commercial gym, and I had a calendar of exactly what I needed to do per hour, because I had to train people. My time was tight, so I had to make sure that I was making the best use of my time. I even scheduled the time where I would take afternoon naps, and I felt like it was really good. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That was really good. I still hate Excel.
No, it's totally cool. And like, I love it because it makes me feel like I'm more in control. And also it makes me feel like I respect myself more as a person, because like I treat my time as valuable. So like it can even just be like 2 hours to do nothing, or like, just like, I'm not going to do anything today. And that's also a thing. But then it's like, you're giving yourself permission to be unproductive. And that's a much nicer feeling for me, at least, than to just be unproductive and feel like, oh, I probably should be doing a million other things, So it is a freedom for me to not freak out about sensory stuff, or feel like I'm missing out or spending my time irresponsibly.
I really like it, man. I love it. Cool. I love it. I'm going to take it. I love it. It's good. It's good shit. I like the fact that you even said, I even scheduled in my bullshit time, because you're not the first person that said that. Like, I interviewed another consume sleep person. what's his name? His name flew out of my head. JP, you know JP?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, JP said the exact same shit. Like he'll schedule in like when he'll like do nothing, just like do
Hmm.
dumb shit, right? So yeah, that's good. Like lessons from the sleep saver people. That's great stuff, man. Um,
Anytime.
so okay, I want to ask you a question about feminine TE. So I interviewed Stacy. I don't know if you've spoken to her before.
Oh,
Um,
she's great. Hey, Stacy.
yeah. So
She's
yeah,
awesome.
name dropping Stacy now. But
Yeah.
we had this really good conversation about like being feminine TE, and we said that we felt better actually dealing with people who are more aggressive, actually like double masculine or feminine masculine, because when those people shove at us and push at us hard, it kind of like penetrates through that feminine TE and goes straight to our masculine FI, and now we can hit back, you know,
Hmm.
and it feels better when you can hit back, you know, because someone's hitting at you, right? Like really hard. But then when you're talking to someone that's also a fellow feminine TE, then you're both like tippy toeing around each other, right? So it's like, you know, like it's almost hard to be like you 100% because you almost need someone to
Right.
like shove at you before you can be like, oh, now I can shove back. Not like I have the permission to shove back now, you know, because this is like our relationship now, right? So what's your experience with that?
It's complicated. Like I can recognize a lot of what you're saying, but like at the same time, if I'm with someone who's masculine TE and they agree with me on something, it makes me feel incredibly validated. Because like if they're pushy about it and they're like, this is how it is, right? I'm like, yeah, I feel more confident in what I feel. And we're like, we're on the same team. Yeah, this is awesome. Hell yeah, you know? So like, but if I'm with someone that's just TEing me into submission about something I care about a lot about, I can get incredibly hurt. Sure, yeah, absolutely. But it's complicated. Like I have friends who are masculine TE that I would rather hang out with than anyone in the world because they're funny to me too. There's an element of comedy to it for me. The people who have masculine TE, because as I think feminine thinking, like you're kind of just going like, you're so insecure about reasons in a way, right? You're just like you're flowy, but then when someone goes like brain force will fix your life, you're just kind of going like, yeah, tell me more. Like you're just like, it's like an element of like, it's funny that there's a certainty in an element that you're so insecure about. And like, yeah, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
No, I get you, man. I do think that those people who are double masculine are so funny. Like, I have a double masculine ISTJ friend, and he's so cocky, right? It's so funny. Like one of the things he'll say to me, and my friends, is like, "You know why you won? You know why you won, right? You know why you won? Because I allowed it." And I'm like, "Oh, that's
Right.
so good. That's so
Yeah,
good.
it's
That's so good.
it's so funny. Yeah, it
So
is.
good."
I love watching people shove other people in ways where I'm like, I would never do that, but it's so funny to me in such a weird way.
I like it because it gives you permission to shove back, right? Like I love playing
Yeah.
like in a room full of like my buddies, and then everyone's talking shit, you know.
Hmm.
And then like then I get that permission to be like really aggressive too. Like one of the things that I said to my one of my friends, like we're playing like this like wrestling game, right? And then my one of my friends is losing badly, so he starts pausing the game, right? And then I unpause the game right after he paused the game. I'm like, can't pause the thing, you know, like I'm like that can be like aggressive and like you know like so. So
Yeah, totally. But I will say though, just a final thought. I don't think that I get along. I don't think that I tippy toe around other feminine thinking people. I really enjoy talking to them, and I don't have a problem asserting myself in those conversations really, because I think my FI just takes over, and I'm just like, we just start talking about things or things we like or whatever, and it becomes sort of a very. It might become like a detached conversation in a way, but I really enjoy it because it's like you get to you get a sense of this person is not going to trample all over me as we talk about it, and I get to like share stuff that's meaningful to me, and maybe like you'll take it in a way and be like, this sounds good, I like this, you know. And that's kind of, I think that's at the bottom of everything I want to do. I want to understand people, I want to help people, and I want to contribute, right? I want to contribute to other people, but it's hard for me, and it's something that I've had to spend a decade and more to learn how to do. And yeah, I think that's one of my bigger challenges. Yeah.
yeah, that's really interesting how you brought up that it could be an FI conversation instead, you know.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's where you're pushing, right? Yeah.
so I have two last questions for you, and then we'll wrap this up.
Sure.
So my first one is what advice can you give to fellow Blast Laster people or ENFPs in general to work and improve on their blast, because you're actually trying your best to work on your blast, even though you blast last. So you're not going to be the best at it, but you're making efforts and you're making improvements. So what's been your experience with that, and what advice can you give them?
It's pretty simple, I guess. I don't feel like I should give advice necessarily because I haven't really accomplished much. But what I can say has been helping for me is to find something that I'm passionate about. It could be anything. Think in your life, what do I like? Do I like chess? Do I like politics? Do I like activism? Do I like union work? Do I like movies? Do I like TV shows? Join a club. There's a club for everything. That's my experience. So you can join a club about literally anything you're interested in, be around those people and just communicate with them and have debates with them and just practice just getting things done that way, and just to use reasons and your feelings and emotions to get out of your shell and to start doing things. And I think taking chances, like, I think last people should take all of the chances that they are seriously considering doing, because from experience, like, it's so much work in your brain to just get to the point where you think it logically could make sense to do the thing you're thinking of doing, right? So like, if you've done the processing in your brain where you're thinking, I might want to do this because this seems like a good idea, I think you should listen to that voice, because you've thought through all the scenarios, you've consumed the information probably, and you have a sense that this could be good. And then if you do it and fail, or if you do it and it sucks, it's fine. You can just do something else. It's a learning experience, because every time you try and fail, you learn something new about yourself, your capabilities, what you like, what you don't like. And like, yeah, it's just going to make you a stronger person. It's going to make you a person who's more calculated in the future too, if you made a misstep. And like, yeah, just seeing life as a series of events, I think, is really important, and you need to make stuff happen. Yeah.
Let's hope that the blast lasters can get started at joining the club at least. You know?
Yeah, that's a great step. Look, I mean, any step is better than no step, just
I mean,
like socialize with people, right?
no, I meant like, I hope that they can get started to get started. that's
Yeah, that's a big deal, because like
hard.
especially like for super sleepy people like myself, because like you feel you're so unqualified to participate in it, right? But I mean, if you're honest, like, most of the people who are in those clubs are people who just want to be around people and they don't really know anything. So if
Yeah.
you open your mouth and say something you've consumed and slept on, they're like, whoa, like this stuff, and they're going to be like, wow, you're like an infinite source of information, and suddenly you have a lot of friends.
You probably are an infinite source of information. Um, do you have any questions for me? My last question is, do you have any questions for me as someone that has the complete opposite animal stack? Like, I have blast as a savior and I have play as a savior. So do you have any questions about that, or any other questions in regards to being an
Well, we already covered that you did the interview with Dave in his car, in the back seat of his car. So
yeah.
that's one thing. But I'm also curious about do you find that you learn through playing, or do you find that playing is something that's like a thing that's detached from learning?
I learn from play, but play is also entertaining for me. So it's a source of recreation and a source of learning. It's both, because they're intertwined together, right? So like, if I'm, shooting the shit with you, we're learning from each other, but we're also entertaining. Like, we're also amusing ourselves, right? So that's pretty much where the play comes in.
That's interesting, right? Do you find it's hard to listen to people you're talking to, or do you just do you absorb it all and then immediately relate it to something else because of NE, or is it? Yeah,
it depends. So if I'm talking to someone on an interview format, it's a little bit harder for me to listen 100%, just because I have to think of follow-up questions. So
yeah,
so that part, because I have to multitask, right? So in that case, it's harder. But if I'm just with someone one-on-one, it's a lot easier, because it's just two of us, right? So I can focus 100% of my attention just on you and what you're saying, and I don't need to think of follow-up questions. I can just just listen to what you're saying, right? With that being said, it also depends on my buy-in with the person. So if my buy-in with you is not very good, then I'm not likely to listen to you. But if my buy-in with you is good, then I'm gonna be taking you seriously, and I'm gonna listen to a lot of the stuff that you say. So that's kind of how my play works. It's like depends on the buy-in with the person. The moment I put you in my shit list in my FI, I'm not listening to you anymore. But,
okay, has that happened in interviews, or is that from your personal life? You don't have to name names. I'm just curious.
Oh, all the time, like all the time.
That's great.
Not everyone I interview.
No.
No. I mean, it's not. It's a spectrum. It's not like, oh,
Of course.
This person's a piece of crap. This person's like this. I love this person.
No.
No, everyone's in the middle somewhere, right? But obviously, there's people like there's like a few that's in the shit list, and there's
Sure.
There's people that I absolutely love. I see them as my friend. You know, I talk to them outside the interviews. So, and then everyone else is somewhere, in the middle, right? So,
sure, that makes total sense, and I feel the same way. Like, it's like if someone does something that really offends my FI, I just like I'm not going to seek them out again. Like, it's just like, yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah, and it's almost like whatever they say is full of shit. Like it's.
Yeah. Because you've already sorted them into that shit list, you don't trust them anymore.
Yeah, they're in my shit bin, right? I put them in the garbage can, right? So, so I don't really care.
That's interesting.
I don't really care what you have to say anymore because to me, you have no credibility in my eyes, at least. Like
cool, yeah.
Like I know there's people that are really smart, and I know that what they're saying might be valid, but I just don't like them, so they're in my shit bin. So I don't care how effective what you're saying is. To me, I don't like you, and whatever you say is not effective for me. So, stay away.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can relate to that. I definitely can. All right, cool. I don't have any other questions, I think, but I mean, it's been a great interview. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'd like to give just the quick shout out to Savannah, to Joey, to Amelie, to I don't want to forget anyone, like Irony Extremist, a bunch of people who. Like, we watch your videos, man. We love your videos on the Discord server. We get together and it's like an event because it's really? Cool. We get to see. It is. You're like,
watch it together.
I meant it. We watch them together, man. We do, and we're like, we do. We're all in voice chat, and we're like, this is awesome. Like, this is great. So this is a big thing. What? Sorry.
It's like a Game of Thrones episode.
It is. It's like the objective personality Game of Thrones that's going on, because like we feel like we get more and more of who you are every time, and we learn something as we watch the episodes, and we're so fascinated, and we love it. It's different from the other interviews because it's more play energy, and it's more like engaging in general. So like, yeah, anyway, I'm going on a large tangent, but yeah, we love your stuff.
You guys watch Benjamin's interviews?
I only, complete honest truth, the first interview I've seen with him was today, and I think he's great. I think he's like he's really he seems to really care what the other person is saying. Absolutely. Like, and you do too, obviously, but like he's very like focused in, so sometimes the conversation can get very quiet, and it's a different vibe. I appreciate it, but it's a whole different vibe, and you have very engaging interviews, I think, and yeah, it's great. So I shout out to the whole server of Objective Personality, and yeah, I mean, you should definitely talk to Savannah if you've seen her on the Facebook group. She's incredible. I think you'd have a great conversation.
I did. I asked her for the interview. She didn't say anything to me, so you guys have to get convinced.
Really? Oh, I have to get a hold of her. No, she's great. You're really gonna like her. She's a TE dom.
She's an ENTJ, right?
She is, yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I need more of those people because EJs are hard to come by, so I need to find more of those people. They're always hiding, right?
Totally. Yeah, they are always.
I'm trying to interview Jonathan's girlfriend right now, and I've been in the process of negotiation for the last 6 months now. I think it's been 6 months, man.
Jonathan Knott or Jonathan who?
Knott.
Yeah.
I've been negotiating for freaking 6 months, man, with like Saskia, and I'm like, oh my god, can we just please do the interview? Like.
Right.
No. She's like, no, I have to wait for Jonathan to be in Netherlands first so that I can do the interview with him beside me. I'm like, okay.
He's there now, though. He's there.
He made it now. So now she finally said, okay, we can finally do it. But first, this has to happen. I'm like, oh my god.
Well.
Oh my god.
Time takes the time takes,
Yeah, but hey, man, thanks for bringing up that thing that you guys watched my video. That makes me feel really happy to hear that. And yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
You're so welcome. And I don't have anything to plug, so I'm good to just say bye, and this has been a blast.
Yeah, I have another interview coming up right like in just a few minutes, actually. So Peace out, man.
Perfect.
Thanks for doing this.
Yep. Live long and prosper.
Be a very peace out.
Peace out.